The Mystara project is proud to present Part 21 of the Lore of Mystara series. In this video, we take a look at the period from BC 650 to BC 601, featuring the Hin's restoration movement. By 650 BC, most of the interior grasslands of the Great Waste had reverted to desert. The Urduk herds had dwindled, robbing the nomads of their wealth and bringing on hard times. In Sind itself, the once lush forests had fallen to the double onslaught of drought, and the city's demands for fuel and building materials. The forests had given way to grasslands, which in turn had become desert, as increasingly desperate Sindhis over-farmed and overgrazed the land. Sometime between BC 635 and BC 620, Vanya, daughter of the chief of the Karendan tribe, was born on the jungle coast. The greatest ever hero of the Hin, Nob-Nar, adventured between BC 624 and BC 610. He was fearless, even stealing the great elder dragon, Galt-Hormorox's, treasure hoard from under its claws. Between BC 619 and BC 609, the invaders of the Hin lands south of the Black Spires grew weak from fighting each other, until they were unable to prevent the Hin from returning to their farms, harbors and holds. Each clan cleared any creature who was unwilling to share the land from their holdings. Rebuilding began. Roads were repaired. Unacceptable buildings were destroyed. Each clan stronghold now had a crucible of black flame protected by a keeper. The clan elders met in a ruined Orcish city on the southern coast near the mouth of the Ithapul River. There, rebuilding of the ruined city, to be named Shiatan, commenced. In BC 612, Nob-Nar, who lived east of Ware-Escalot, travelled to Baron Ulstera's court in Halag to wed the Baron's daughter Navrilstar. The Baron ordered his guards to seize Nar, but none were willing, given Nar's fierce reputation. The Baron then slew his own daughter to spite Nar. Nar slew the Baron in revenge and carried Navrilstar away for burial at Everwake Way to the northeast of Ware-Escalot. Note Gaz 8 has this event in AC 612, which appears to be an error. These tragic events are told in the most popular Hin song, the Ballad of Nob-Nar.
Oh, young Nob-Nar was one of the best. Through all the shires, Hin saw his crest. Save for his courage, he rode quite alone, with a long knife and a helve of so breezy his manner, a smile for each scare. There ne'er was Hin warrior like young Nob-Nar. He quailed not a dragon, he turned not for troll, rode fearless through fell forest and o'er goblin knoll. But ere he fell dying at Everwake Way, his heart had broken, his smiles fled away, for a human princess, fair Navrilstar. Though dead was the love of Hin Nob-Nar. One day boldly he entered the barony hall, where sat his chosen, her father and all. Then spoke the proud baron, hand on his blade. Why come ye uncalled for, of man but half made? I shall know the wrath. See not this brave knight that sits at my side. This very day he makes my daughter his bride. Ye are not even a man, ye are nothing here. How dare you come into my hall without fear? God, seize me this halfling, the Baron roared, and bring for my daughter his famed magic sword. No, nor laugh then in the face of the foe. The hall fell silent, the charge upon him turned slow. For all the fine gallants and guardsmen there had heard of the mettle of the knob who did dare to steal a hoard from 'neath the very claws of that great elder dragon, Goldform Rose. His blade it glowed with magical fire as Nob drew and brandished the tooth of High Share. Who'll be first then? He laughed, eyes all bright, to taste my answer to this insult and fight. For no man yet has matched little Nobnar, and I will defy all to take Neville's star. None, the Baron in shrill madness did spit. Then I shall be first to make Nobnar admit that he can be beaten by the hand of a man. Then before all that company he swiftly ran and slew his own daughter with raised bloody blade. She that ne'er father's will in the slightest had stayed. She sank to the rushes, her blood them did stain. Nobnar cried in amazement, thou hast slain thy own daughter who never did thee ill. I shall slay thee now, and any who will stand to defend ye, or die in the trying. And I see not enough here to manage my dying. But though then the Baron raging did command his men to strike down the hind who did stand so alone and so short there in the hall, none moved to strike him, they drew away all, and raised sword in salute as the grim Nobnar did slay the Baron that slew Navril Star. Then he took up the lady he now ne'er would wed, and cried a little, and then sternly said, I will lay to rest my gentle Navril Star. At your peril stand now my way to bar, to a fair place in the Shires I'll away, and bury my lady at Everwake Way. For they say that some who sleep there will rise up someday, whole, strong and fair, and I shall wait down all the long years. So go now and tell all your peers that one day your own fair Navril Star will ride by the side of the half-man,
By BC 610, the Hin had prevailed over the raiding humanoids and humans, ending the time of heroes. They were free once again. In BC 609, the elders' meeting place in Shireton was completed. The elders gathered at a great council. All elders were permitted to speak as they saw fit. Days of talks resulted. Outside, younger Hin quickly worked out a plan for the defense of the land. The Hin began to control their land, for the first time in almost 200 years. Meanwhile, the elders' debate raged on. Many elders were adamant that no clan masters be allowed any direct say in government to prevent a repeat of the clan strife. Others were just as adamant that no single ruler should be installed, pointing to the frequent orcish regicides. They also pointed out that some Hin were obviously unsuited to rule. Still others thought a system where many ruled, perhaps a council of elders, was the only way to avoid abuses of power and the rash thinking of younger Hin. However, this group could never agree on who should be chosen, and how they should be chosen. It was obvious to all, as the summer passed while tongues wagged, that no government of all elders would ever make decisions swiftly enough to safeguard the realm. By Caldmont AC 609, one of the younger war leaders, Gunzuth the Clanless had heard quite enough. He went into the hall where the elders were meeting, and found them arguing about how to best repair the hall's leaky roof. Gunzuth shouted them all to silence. Then he proposed a plan. They would name a sheriff, a general and high justice combined, to see to the defense of the realm. Elders would oversee the governing of their own clans by advising their clan masters, whilst the sheriff would govern the realm as a whole. Each clan would provide warriors to defend the land under the command of the sheriff. The sheriff would have no lands or troops of their own. The elders, by meeting in council, could vote a sheriff out of office. Otherwise, he or she would serve for life, or resignation. The sheriff would rule absolutely in all matters between clans, such as free use of roads and mines for all, boundary disputes, recognition of clans and clanmasters, the establishment of laws and currency, and the sharing of food in lean times. The sheriff would make up their own mind in all matters, with no one to forbid them. However, all Hin, and others accepted as neighbors in the land, could speak freely to the sheriff without fear of reprisal. Gunzuth insisted that the elders vote on his plan that same night, and he would serve as the first sheriff. If they voted the plan down, he promised one of his warriors would go to every clan across the land to tell what had occurred. To the vast surprise of themselves and the warriors outside the hall, the elders voted overwhelmingly in favor, and Gunzuth became the first and last lone sheriff of Sheridan. He ruled long, lightly, and very well, winning the respect and support of all clans. Sometime between BC 602 and BC 446, Nob Nar achieved immortality, probably on the path of the epic hero in the sphere of thought. His sponsor is unknown, but could possibly have been one of his fellow immortal high heroes, Cobaram Shadowglint or Brindahin. The details of his path are unknown, but could have involved hiring a magic user to forge the Tooth of High Shire for him to wield. His successor would probably have been a fellow Hin, replacing him as hero of the Hin. The successor would have to have gone up in levels and attack ranks to satisfy the advancing 12 levels requirement. Nob Nar's near-impossible task may have been to stand vigil over Navrelstar's tomb in Everwake Way until the end of his days. After 5 years, his sponsor deemed his task complete, and Nob Nar ascended as a high hero of the Hin. This concludes part 21 of the Lore of Mystara series, covering a half-century that featured the restoration of the Hin's freedom and their greatest hero, Nob Nar.